Cape Cod Central Cam here. And get Roblox started up. Alright, welcome in. Today we are continuing work on a railroad museum I started yesterday. North Creek and Pacific Rail Museum. So at the moment it is a standard loop, and the regular excursion goes around twice. Well, the regular excursion goes around 3 times, and the caboose excursion will go around just about once. So let's get some caboose in here. I think that's the plural way to say caboose, is caboose. It's really how to say it. In fact, I'm going to expand this yard because we don't have enough space at the moment. Alright, I have an idea as to what I'm going to do. It'll be unique, but what's a railroad without the uniqueness, you know? Especially a railroad museum. Alright, almost every railroad museum has some sort of weird operation. So, oh, but there's going to be a crossing here. And I prefer not to have that a double. Shoot, I didn't think of that. Well, I could make it over there. Actually, it would be a much better idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. I also like to mention that siding that I was just working on is not going to be used. Alright, we're just going to delete. I'm not too happy with how sharp that curve is, but there's not really anything else I could do to help that, unfortunately. And we're going to have it come up to here. And then I'm also going to throw in a connecting track because that's important. And then after this, I promise we can work on details. I just have to finish out the track layout because well, it was originally done. Now I feel like it needed more. Well, no, I didn't feel like it needed more, but I'm going to be running a caboose excursion too, which I can't fit a caboose train in the yard. So that would kind of suck to, swap out the actual excursion. I'll get new coaches in at some point too. I just don't feel like building them at the moment. So we're stuck with these like Roblox Railroad ones for now. Which they don't look terrible, I'll say. They're not like overly bad. I'll say that. They're not like bad for, especially not bad for like a railroad museum. That's something you're gonna kind of expect is like the open door passenger. Oh yeah, we're gonna connect this track too. I kind of forgot about this track. I think that should have needed like one. Yeah, it's like perfectly straight. And then we're gonna take the switch. And now we're going to connect it to the offspring track. Alright, first, and then we're going to continue with that line. Not too sure where we're going to bring that, but we can figure that out after I finish this, because I'm going to fix this curve. I'm just hoping it doesn't collide with our other curve there. Nope. Much better. Alright, I also want to make this not as sharp, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Because, like, that's really damn sharp. I mean, we can keep it for now, but... And then make the track just go onto a straight stud. And then over here, we'll probably get some engine shops in just because, a railroad can't have a steam locomotive without an engine shop. I mean, it could, but it would be very badly maintained. So. This is one of the long hood forward Jeeps. I'm going to get some caboose in here. Might as well throw on a Conrail caboose, right? Well, Philadelphia, maybe. I'll go for Philadelphia. And there's our caboose set. Oh, that Philadelphia caboose is tiny compared to the other box cabooses. That's all good. And then our caboose set will always be run by the diesel, I suppose. And there's an extra excursion coach, which we will need to find a better place to put that. I'll probably keep it on the siding. Now, time for details. So, I've been wanting to throw a crossing in on the right here. And then, yeah, we'll probably just have one crossing on this whole line. And it'll be here. Just because it's such a short route. I was hoping that wouldn't be a curved wedge, but kind of had a feeling it would just because of my luck. I also don't think we need like an actual like signal or like a barrier. Would it be needed? No. Would it be necessary? Yes. I think that's the way to put it. Because I don't think an actual barrier would be needed here, but I think it would be necessary. I'm just too lazy to do the wiring too. I'm gonna straight flat out say it. I am lazy as hell right now. Not saying I won't throw it in later, but I'm not gonna spend the time to throw in a whole signal. I mean, not that it takes long. It takes less than 4 or 5 minutes, but this is also, I would like to mention, going to be a community map. And I don't do a lot of community maps, so if you guys do manage to find this just going through your community maps, make sure to give it a like. Alright. I'm thinking of wedging this parking lot in, because I think it wouldn't look too terrible. But you guys are going to have to bear with me real quick. Might take me a minute. Oh, what is this? Come on. Oh, there we go. That wasn't that hard. I guess I overreacted. Wait, that's like perfect. How did I get it that perfect? That's insane. I don't even know how I did that. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good look. And just a fenced off area here. I'll use a pre-built fence. Because why not? Give some sense of row scale sandbox nostalgia, you know? Oh, that fence is huge. Holy. It's actually... Alright, we're back. Sorry about that little intermission. Lost internet. Anyways, we'll load up the autosave. And just continue where we were going. Take this. And you know what? We will make people do the walk of shame. So when you park, you have to walk all the way back out of the parking lot. For extra safety precautions, you know? Don't want to... Not trying to piss people off, definitely. It's definitely not what I was doing. And this is going to be the entrance to the station. So yeah, this will be pretty heavily guarded off, I guess. Not really what I was going for, but thought of it, I guess. I'll say I thought of it up on the spot. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. Thinking of it on the spot. I think that's fair. That's what happens with a lot of my builds on Roblox. I'll be for real. I'm not even gonna worry about that right now because I'm once again too freaking lazy. It's you'll hear that excuse from me a lot. I will say. Yeah, no, that looks really weird without that. Should I just throw that in there? I don't feel like it because of the tilt. And this will just go on to be an abandoned line. I do have to move this, though. I don't know where. Save this. Alright, let's bring the excursion out for its first test run. Well, second, I did one test run. But with its first test run with all the new details and the new trackage. I guess it's also only fair if we do Day Out with Thomas events here, too. I'm not a huge Day Out with Thomas fan. Not even a slight Day Out with Thomas fan, but most railroad museums have it. Forgot to mention too, this route will be privately owned, so it's like a rail museum that is privately owned and only open to the public on certain days. It's mainly just it's somebody's property is a good way of saying it. I also like to give myself credit. I'm good at making crossovers nowadays. That doesn't look too bad. Coming up to this curve that I desperately hate, I want to redo that because it's not even like a bad curve. It just looks really sharp, even though it's not that bad. See, like the train takes it and it looks fine. But yeah, this map is definitely lacking detail so far. Oh yeah, and going into the station, honk twice, or if you blow your whistle twice, then you're not stopping. If you blow your whistle 3 times, you're stopping. Slow down for the grade crossing. Alright, and then we'll take one more loop, because the excursion takes 3 loops around. I don't like the way that looks overlapping at the moment. And then we'll take the caboose train out after. Or the plural way of saying caboose, I guess. I always think that's funny. I am also going to delete this, because it looks small compared to the other caboose. Alright, we're going to take the curve, go through the crossing once more, and then... No, is this our third lap? No, this is our second.